Everyone, this is the RetroGR Ranting Twitch. How are you guys doing? I'm doing fine, and as promised in one of my vlogs that I did about Wii, I said I was going to do kind of a send-off video for the Wii, and I guess the best way I could do that is sort of go through my Wii games collection. I have quite an extensive one. This is probably, besides the GameCube, I guess, of which I think I still have more games than I did with the GameCube, but this was the console that I owned that I probably bought the most games for. The GameCube coming in a close second, because that was back in my bachelor days with the GameCube, and all I had was money to spend on video games. But I do have a lot of games, either by gifts or by just me buying them, and I wanted to sort of just do a tribute to a lot of the excellent games that were made for the Wii, and I seem to own a lot of them. Not all of them, obviously. There's a lot of games I'm missing that I wish I owned. I just never got around to purchasing it or never got around to getting them. You'll see those gaps in my library here soon, but I think I also have a couple of hidden gems here or there that people didn't play enough of, I think, or didn't respect that much. So I'm talking too much. It's already 2 minutes in. So let's get started. First, let's clear this stuff away just for now. I just wanted something visual to be there. I figured I'd start with a couple of them. Now again, this is probably going to be a longer video. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut it up into little pieces. Some of these games I'm just going to talk briefly about. But games that I really enjoy or think are not appreciated enough, I'm probably going to talk a little more extensively with. So let's go into that. So I apologize for the length of this, but this is my send-off to the Wii. It's November, Wii U is coming out soon. This is my way of saying thank you to the Wii and showing my gratitude by all these wonderful games that have given me a lot of enjoyment. Well, for the most part. I'm going to start with some of the lesser played games in my library, I suppose. But yeah, so here we go. Number one, this Sonic in the Black Knight, which, seriously folks, I got this one as a gift, which I'm very appreciative of course. I'm very appreciative of any gifts that I get, but I'm not going to talk too long on this one, because, yeah, Sonic didn't have a very good career up until recently, when it started getting back into the swing of things. So, without going into too much detail, controls suck. Yeah, controls really, really suck. Waggle, not good in a Sonic game. So, yeah, pass. Moving on. This one actually isn't mine. It kind of is, it kind of isn't. This is what I got my wife. I guess I could do that too, I suppose. I was trying to stand it up. Some of these are going to be a little more cooperative than others, I think. I got for my wife because she kind of enjoys Olympic Games and stuff like that. So this was the 2010 Vancouver Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. You know what? It's not that bad. It's a great party game. It's only really worth playing if you have some friends over, you know. So have some friends over, throw this in and play. Otherwise, single player, this game isn't worth it. You know, it's not great. It's not perfect. It's sort of middle of the road. It's something you throw in when you can't think of anything else to play with a bunch of people are over. But still, not too bad. SpiderMan Friend or Foe on the Wii. I'm seriously going to be doing a video games underdog review of this, and I'm going to tell you why. Because this game got panned by critics. I mean, just totally destroyed. And quite honestly, I actually enjoy it. It's just a straight-up beat-em-up game. And yes, it was a Spider-Man 3 tie-in game that came out around the DVD release of Spider-Man 3. So, you know, that was against it. But other than that, you get to, it's like, it has a two-player like fighting game in there. It's like the closest thing you're ever going to get to like an actual Spider-Man fighting game, like one-on-one fighting game, which is awesome. You can level up all the different characters. You can play literally as friends or foes of Spider-Man. You can play as Venom. You can play as Doc Ock. You can play as Blade. You can play as Iron Fist. That kind of stuff. And a lot of people hated it. I enjoyed it. It's a beat 'em up, so it's redundant and repetitive. But I'm a beat 'em up fan, so I think this game got a really bad rap. And honestly, face value as a Spider-Man beat-em-up game, I think it's pretty sweet. And again, it has a two-player, like, one-on-one fighting game mechanic, which isn't very balanced, but still pretty fun to do. But definitely, you know, if you see this in a bargain bin, don't scoff at it. Give it a try. Help old Spidey out here. Speaking of Spidey, you can tell I'm kind of a Spidey man. Here we go. SpiderManShattered Dimensions. Now, honestly, oh my god, I was so hyped for this game because of Spider-Man 2099 being on it. Oh my god, I was so hyped. And honestly, I was kind of disappointed with the 2099 ones. The Spider-Man Noir, that was pretty cool. I loved that, but that's only because it was kind of like I was playing a carbon copy of Arkham Asylum, only as Spider-Man. I honestly, this game's not too bad. The biggest gripe about, at least in the Wii version, I don't know if this was in the other versions, is the camera angles are horrible and the control mechanics are broken, especially depending on who you're playing as. Like Spider-Man 2099, like waggle controls in this game is horrible. I honestly wish they would have given you the option to use the classic controller. Seriously. I mean, if you can get by just the control scheme, like, this is an excellent game. It looks great. It feels like it was made for the Wii, even though it came out on multiple systems. And honestly, I kind of like the 2099. I was really thought the Spider-Man Noir character was cool. Kind of wish they'd make a game just based off him. But other than that, the camera angles and the controls, I can't really forgive it. I definitely give that a middle-of-the-road kind of game. But if you're a Spider-Man fan, probably worth checking out on the HD counterparts. Moving on. Oh, here we go. Here's another hidden gem that I need to talk about sometime. Blob. Obviously, this game also had HD counterpart sequel. I didn't get the sequel. This honestly felt like a game. This was by THQ. This felt like a game that should have been made by Nintendo. Like, Blob fits almost perfectly in, like, the mascot series, you know. Like, I honestly kind of would hope he would show up in the next Smash Brothers. That'd be cool. But unfortunately, Blob 2 bombed, which is sad, because this game looks great. It's an excellent little platformer with the unique idea of bringing color back to the world, basically. It has multiplayer to it, has a unique story. It's like it fit the Wii perfectly. And the controls work, and it looks gorgeous. Like, if you have a chance, pick this game up on the Wii, and if you do find Blob 2, I didn't get to play it, unfortunately. I was part of the problem, but again, not made of money. Blob, hidden gem, definitely an underrated platformer, worth getting. Okay, let's move on. I didn't get a lot of racing games for the Wii, because honestly, I'm not as big into racing games as I used to. I love Burnout 2 on the GameCube, and honestly, Need for Speed Nitro, this was a made-for-Wii exclusively game by EA, and it's kind of a hidden gem. It controls nice, it has some cool graphics to it and stuff. It's definitely not gonna, you know, if you're someone who really likes arcade fun, it's not gonna replace games like the old school Need for Speed 3 or the Burnout series. But if you actually are looking for a good racing game on the Wii, Need for Speed Nitro will be it. If anything, just for the multiplayer races and stuff. You can actually design your cars. I mean, at least their paint job and stuff, which is kind of cool. And I was a little more disappointed with it than I thought it would be. It's above average racing game on the Wii, but still pretty fun. Moving on. Here we go. Epic Mickey. Now, I did an unboxing of this back in the day, and I think my son actually got a hold of this at one point when he was younger and teething, because you can see some weird marks in there. Epic Mickey. Oh, Epic Mickey. I just had such a love-hate relationship. On one hand, I wanted this to just be what the title says, epic. On the other hand, the controls are fine, but the camera angles are so god-awful that I really cannot recommend this to people. Obviously, it was popular because Epic Mickey 2 is coming out soon. I love the story element to it. It's almost RPG-ish without RPG elements, if you can say that. I still got to go back and actually finish this someday, but the cameras were so infuriating that it made me feel like I was playing an old like platforming game on the N64. That's how infuriating the camera angles were. So I never got around to it because it made me rage quit. Still, if you are a Mickey fan, this is one of the best Mickey games out there, although I still prefer some of the Mickey games that came out on the 16-bit era, so what can you do? Epic Mickey. Although the collector's edition was awesome because I got a really sweet Mickey figurine and all that other good stuff and an extra DVD with other cool things. So, if anything, if you can find yourself a special edition of this, I'd say go for it, personally. Otherwise, if you're okay with handling crappy camera angles, then maybe give it a shot. Otherwise, hopefully, Epic Mickey 2 will fix all that. Mickey, why do you disappoint me so much? Okay, moving on. We're getting out of the lesser played ones of my group, I suppose. This one actually isn't a lesser played. This is one of those ones I was happy about because they made an exclusive version for the Wii, and then there was the HD versions that were completely different and realistic, and when it came down to it, the Shaun White Snowboarding Road Trip on the Wii was the better version compared to the HD versions on the PS3 and Xbox 360. And me and my friends had a lot of fun with this. This is some really great arcade fun. The controls are fun. It's just, this is excellent. It has a unique kind of cartoony style, stylized cartoony style to the characters. You know, it has single player is pretty fun, but the real fun comes with multiplayer and just going down the slopes, doing tricks and trying to get high scores. Is it like SSX Tricky? I don't know. I never played a lot of SSX Tricky, but I would definitely recommend it if you're a snowboarding fan. A snowboarding fan. This is definitely a hidden gem that should be picked up, especially if you can find it in a bargain bin somewhere. Excellent snowboarding game. So moving on. So let's just throw these out here. Right off the bat, we have Link's Crossbow Training, which was what a lot of people felt were the only reason to get the Wii shooter peripheral there, the Wii Zapper, basically. So the only reason why I got the Wii Zapper was to get this game, and you know what? It actually works better without the Wii Zapper most of the time. But this was a really cool little game. Like, I'm surprised Nintendo never released this on its own. But like the Wii Zapper was like $10, so you get this game and there's a ton of little mini games like Crossbow Training. There's a ton of little Crossbow mini games and stuff like that. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I mean it was just excellent, and it was really fun. It had didn't really have multiplayer per se. It was mostly just high score challenges and stuff like that. But you know, if you could still find this, I don't know. I haven't seen the Wii Zapper much, but if you're gonna get a Wii Zapper, get it just for this game because it's actually really fun and worth playing. The graphics are cool. It basically uses the Twilight Princess graphics style and a fun little shooting challenge. Just kind of like if this was a Link's arcade game, basically. Link's Arcade Crossbow Training. Of course, Wii Sports, I still probably have the most hours in this game than any other game. That's mostly because my friend B-Dog comes over and we always play mostly golf, a little baseball, some tennis. I mean, it's overall solid. The only game on here that I never really played much of was the boxing. I never really played much of the boxing because it was kind of broken. Otherwise, the bowling, the golf, everything just sort of worked, and that's why Nintendo packaged it. Again, there was a lot of excellent ideas in this package that never really got utilized in games enough. I mean, I guess there was some golfing and tennis games on the Wii I didn't play much of, but really, really excellent. And hey, it came with the Wii, so I'm pretty darn sure all of you own this and will put 1,000,000 hours into it. So moving on. Wii Play. I don't really know what to say about this besides it's just minigames. Y'all probably own this game. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Is it worth it? If you like little compilation games with some multiplayer thrown in, sure. But moving on, it's Wii Play. Wii Sports Resort! Woohoo! Disappointment. Oh, so much disappointment. This was supposed to show off what the Wii Motion Plus to do, and honestly, there was only a few games in Wii Sports Resort that I actually liked. I liked the Crossbow. I couldn't do the golf worth anything. I liked flying the little plane. Bowling, that was cool because bowling actually felt real. Other than that, they're really not quite as good as the original Wii Sports. I mean, they could have did so much more. There was a lot of great ideas, like the sword fighting. You could see how this stuff could have been implemented in better games, but that's about it. So, not enough talking about that. There we go. So, there goes those. Okay, now we're getting to my much played and little known and more recommended games. I'm going to start with this one, mostly because I cannot pronounce the title worth anything. Here we go. Mashamusha, the Demon Blade. I don't know if you can see that, but look at that. Look at that artwork. That's literally what the game looks like in the game as well. It's just beautifully drawn. Apparently, this was also on the PS2. Well, this is a sequel to ones that were on the PS2. Gorgeous game. RPG light, just action, cutting people up with your blade. Just excellent little game. Definitely. I don't know how popular this was, but I say get it immediately. If you see it, just get it. It's an excellent sword fight, beautifully everything is hand drawn, well animated. You swear it's just beautiful. And probably the most beautifully hand drawn game I saw on the Wii. But then again, I don't know how many other ones there were. But definitely pick this game up if you see it. Mama, Shattered Demon Blade. I don't understand how to say this. I don't even know who the people are who made it. I've never heard of them before, but definitely beautiful, beautiful game indeed. All right. Moving on. Bash Party. Boom Blox Bash Party. Thank you, Steven Spielberg. That's right. Steven Spielberg had a hand in this. It's a Steven Spielberg EA Games, and obviously, if Steven Spielberg has an idea, and he comes to you and goes, I want you to do this, I'm pretty sure you're going to do it. And that's what Steven Spielberg did for his family. Bash Party was awesome. And what made Bash Party awesome was the fact that it actually had an online community for the most part. And you know how with other games that it had downloadable content. It had a level editor in it. You can make your own Bash Party stuff. And for those of you who don't know what Bash Party is, it's basically you're just throwing a ball or shooting a gun or whatever at blocks or pulling blocks or throwing blocks. And it's all just puzzles and other kind of stuff. It's just a compilation of stuff. And mostly it's kind of a party game mostly, but there's other elements. And one of the elements is being able to make your own Bash Party levels. And you can share them online. You just hit upload. And it's not something like with on Super Smash Bros. Brawl, where basically you if you want to download other people's levels that they made in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, you'd have to take your SD card out, put it in your computer, go online, find them online, download them, put them in the right folder on your SD card, and maybe even rename them, who knows. In this case, it was all there. It was literally all connected within the game. You just click, all right, I want to download levels. It goes to a little server. You can see the levels. You can play them before even downloading them. It was brilliant. It was like, I wish other games on the Wii would have implemented something like this, but I loved it for that fact. I haven't actually tried going online with it in a while, so I don't even know if the servers are still up. They might be, but I downloaded some really cool levels, like puzzle levels and just people creating stuff. Basically, the best thing, it was like the Minecraft of the Wii, I guess, the way that you could design stuff. But definitely awesome, awesome party game, awesome creative game. Bash Party. I still need to get the original Boom Blox. There's some levels and gameplay mechanics in the original Boom Blox that didn't make it in the sequel. Another hidden fighting game gen. There wasn't a lot of fighting games on the Wii, but we did get a pretty awesome one. Tatsunoko versus Capcom Ultimate All-Stars, a game that we didn't think was going to reach it to the States, but it did. And it is awesome. I don't know hardly half of the Tatsunoko stars, but it is an excellent versus title, and it's definitely in the vein of like Capcom versus Marvel and that kind of stuff. And in this case, it's really fast-paced, tag action, team action. This came out before Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Honestly, I wish Marvel vs. Capcom 3 would have came out on the Wii, but you know what? There's actually a lot of people out there. I'm not saying this personally because I didn't play Marvel vs. Capcom 3, but there's a lot of people out there who say Tatsunoko vs. Capcom is a better game than Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I know. The only downside to it is, at least what I tried playing online, there was a whole lot of lag, but apparently that's a big thing with fighting games anyway. But it's really fun. It has an easy control scheme for those who aren't good at fighting games, and you can go and you can use the normal complex control scheme if you are a veteran at it. Definitely, if you love versus titles, especially the Capcom versus titles, toss it over to Capcom. Awesome, awesome game. And what can I say about this game besides it's No More Heroes, right? Bloody, violent, grotesque, shocking, crude, rude. Definitely have to be mature to play this game. I don't know. You've heard of this game. Why are you even talking about it? It's crazy. You're a spiky-haired, cocky guy with a lightsaber that chops people up and is in a tournament to prove your best. It's No More Heroes. You know it. Excellent. This one, though, on the other hand, you guys didn't buy. This one's by Sega, and this is probably one of the reasons why Sega stopped making hardcore titles for the Wii. It's called Mad World. Excellent black and white with a little red thrown in art style. Very comic booky. So, basically just this BA with a chainsaw on his arm, and it's a beat-em-up game with a pretty sweet story. You just run around and murder people in very creative ways. It's, again, another M-rated game. And even though it had a very big media push, there was tons of commercials and online trailers that were awesome and funny. Plus it had commentary. Oh, what is it? Is it going to say on the back here? Basically, you get commentary from Bender, and one of the announcers from, and then the other guy, the American speaking or English or Galactic Basic speaking alien from the pod races in Star Wars Episode 1. I can't think of their names right now, but basically, it's just hilarious and just brutal. So, didn't sell well because it was M for mature, and apparently M for mature doesn't sell on the Wii. Then how did this get so popular then? Why did this sell, but this didn't? I don't know. It was a great game. So if you are of age, pick this up. You won't be disappointed. It's awesome. Star Wars Force Unleashed on the Wii, pretty fun. A lot of waggling. You will be exhausted after playing this game because you're going to be swinging your arms and flailing. And other than that, I guess a lot of people actually said that the Wii version they felt was better than the HD counterpart versions, which I don't know. I've never played the HD counterpart version, but it was actually pretty fun. I'm not a big fan of the story, but it was pretty fun feeling like a really super-powered Jedi in it. So, yeah, if you can find it in a bargain bin, pick it up. Alright, moving on. Let's get to the first-person shooters. So here we go. I'm going to give credit where credit is due. I give a lot of slack to Activision in the Call of Duty series, but I will at least give Activision credit for not leaving the Wii behind when they made the Call of Duty series. And they were pretty decent, if not excellent, first-person shooters on the Wii. And the system let's face it, the Wii wasn't the most ideal system for first-person shooters, but if you wanted to play a first-person shooter on the Wii, this was probably one of the series you'd go to. Call of Duty Black Ops was probably the pinnacle. World at War, which I actually have right now, but it's not mine, so I didn't put it in my collection, was a little wonky. It looked great, but the control scheme, this one allows you to use the Classic Controller Pro and other stuff, and has a lot of the same features that the HD counterparts did. It didn't have as many zombie levels, but a lot of the other stuff was there. There was zombie levels, there was training levels. It was basically not a masterpiece, but I got to give kudos to Activision. You at least tried, and each substantial Call of Duty just got better and better. So what can you do? Yeah, it's just them trying to squeeze more money out of the Call of Duty franchise, but at least they didn't look at the Wii and go, it's not powerful enough. They're like, let's make it work. So for all the crap I give Call of Duty, hey, at least didn't think it was too snobby for the Wii. So, moving on. All right. So I'm going to talk about these both basically at the same time. There was the Conduit right there, and its sequel, Conduit 2. Conduit 2. Now, honestly, the first Conduit pales in comparison to Conduit 2, and it basically got a cult following for the most part. And first Conduit actually used Wii Speak, which was one of the very few games that do it. And it was pretty revolutionary in the fact that, you know, they toted the fact that it was built from the ground up for the Wii. Unfortunately, it came out. It was a bit of a disappointment because the level design and the story wasn't very great. Conduit 2 came out, decided to just be like, all right, we're just going to make it for fun. This is going to be fun. Has split-screen combat, online combat, give you extra control schemes, like being able to use the Classic Controller Pro, and it worked out. There were a lot of bugs to it. It's not a perfect first-person shooter by any means, but it's still a really fun one. It has some great modes, especially Assault mode, which me and Mad Dog played a lot of. Have some videos up of us doing that. And it doesn't take itself seriously. And yeah, it's not perfect, but it still is fun. And I definitely recommend getting a Classic Controller Pro to play it, because the Wii Remote and Nunchuck on Conduit and Conduit 2, it takes a lot getting used to. But I did a full review of both of these games, one of them in blog form, another one in video form, so check them out sometime. Definitely, if you know, this poor Conduit 2 didn't really have much of a chance, due to the fact that I kind of live in a small town area, so I didn't have like a GameStop nearby or anything, so all my games are the big box stores like Walmart. Literally, when this game came out, it never came to Walmart, at least my Walmart, or my Shopko, or Kmart, or whatever, or even Target. Like, none of them got Conduit 2. Conduit 1, at least, they got, but Conduit 2, like, I had to order it on Amazon.com at the time. So unfortunately, I don't think Conduit 2 got the proper shot it deserves, and it really is worth it. Unfortunately, I think it also did get overshined by this next game, which is also an excellent game. Again, I did do a review of this. This is probably one of the first reviews, probably my second official review. My first review was Kirby's Epic Yarn, but GoldenEye 007. This actually proved that you could make a good FPS on the Wii. And honestly, like I said, Wii Remote Nunchuck controls on those other games, it honestly felt so natural and so good right out of the box. Like, you can use the Wii Remote Nunchuck, and I honestly recommend using the Wii Remote Nunchuck on a GoldenEye 007 on the Wii. Even though you can use a Classic Controller Pro, and I think you can even use the GameCube controller. And why I recommend it? Because it actually felt good right away. Like, with the Conduit games, like I said, with the Conduit games, you had to dink around with the settings for like almost an hour. I dinked around with the settings for like an hour on the Conduit 2 and never felt completely comfortable with the Wii Remote and Nunchuck. GoldenEye, don't even have to touch a thing, just felt comfortable. The graphics were great. I know they weren't the best graphics ever, but this game was built from the ground up for the Wii. And I know a year later, an HD counterpart came out called GoldenEye Reloaded or something like that. I don't know, whatever. Honestly, if you are going to play this game, I highly recommend you play the Wii version, because this was the game I would break out when with my HD console gaming friends would come over and want to play something. I'd be like, here, try this out. And would actually blow them away. They'd be like, really? This is on the Wii? This is awesome. This is fun. The 4-player split screen, the online. I mean, excellent first-person shooter. And probably one of my favorite first-person shooters. And yes, a lot of people will say it is a Call of Duty clone. I would say there's a lot of Call of Duty aspects to it, but, you know, what can you say in this day and age? It felt faster than Call of Duty, I guess you can say. And it had its Bond charm, even though I'm not a real big Daniel Craig fan. He did a pretty decent job in this, and I like the reworking of the story in the single player, which the single player was excellent as well. So definitely one of the best. So here we go, moving on. We have Kirby's Dream Land and Kirby's Epic Yarn. Kirby's Epic Yarn has a solid place in my heart because it was the first review I ever did on my channel. And I actually did an interview with Kirby in that review, and I was with hysterical results. This is before I had the ability to record footage, so it was all just still pictures. Definitely, and then Return to Dreamland, which actually came out more recently, much to no fanfare. Excellent games. I really enjoyed Kirby Epic Yarn. It's probably one of the most relaxing, I can't speak, relaxing games I've ever played on the Wii, maybe ever. It's just relaxing. And yeah, there's some stressful parts to it when it gets to later levels, but for the most part, you can't die. There's no such thing as dying, just losing your gems. And then there's Return to Dreamland, which adds more multiplayer elements to it, and it's mostly just kind of a 3D remake of the old school Kirby games. Nothing too spectacular. It's just same old, that kind of stuff. So both excellent, both fun. It's Kirby, you know. You can't go wrong with Kirby. You can't go wrong with these games, especially, you know, when you want something cute and fun to play. So Kirby's Epic Yarn, Kirby's Dreamland, definitely worth picking up, especially Kirby's Epic Yarn because it's very unique. It's a very unique take on it. But if you want classical, suck up the enemies and spit them out Kirby, then you go Return to Dreamland. That's for sure. All right, like I said, let's get to the Mario titles here. For the most part, we have Super Smash Bros. Brawl, another excellent fighting game. Believe it or not, though, between Tatsunoko vs. Capcom and Super Smash Bros. Brawl, I'd really have a hard time recommending which one to get if you only could buy one or the other. I really would. Even though ultimately Smash Bros. Brawl has more to it, though. It has a level editor to it. It has more characters. There's more options to it, I'd say. I'd have to say, but definitely if you could, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom as well. But I digress. Smash Bros. Brawl, I have so many hours put into it. Not just because of me playing. Like, one of the things that I would do, since you could actually spectate matches, like if I was sitting at home folding clothes or something, I would literally put on spectator mode and watch people fight each other in Smash Bros. Brawl while I fold clothes. And that's like a majority of the time. Like when doing housework, I would watch Smash Bros. Brawl, which is kind of hilarious in one way and sad in another. But it is an excellent game, and a lot of people complain that it's not as good as Melee. I have Melee as well. I'm not sure. I'm more of a casual fighting game fan, so, you know, I enjoy fighting games, but I'm not someone who's going to sit there and pick apart mechanics to it, and which one's faster, slower, which one has better balancing. I just play for the fun of it. So I enjoy Smash Bros. Brawl because there's more characters, and the fact that there's not as many copycat characters like in Melee. Melee's still excellent and still one of the best out there in my opinion. I say just get them both. You know, why complain? Just get both of them. Enjoy them both. And then last but not least, we have the Cells Mario. Now I also have Super Mario Galaxy 2, which I have a custom cover on. I think I downloaded that from IGN when it got Game of the Year for Nintendo. A new Super Mario Bros. Wii. Now, I also have Super Mario Galaxy. Although right now, I think Mad Dog's still borrowing it. So, here, let's just do this. Lay down. We'll just do this. Lay down right there. There you go. Now you guys can share the spotlight or something like that. You know, that doesn't look like Mario. That looks like Luigi there, like the silhouette. I just noticed that. New Super Mario Bros. Wii, old school, fun. Definitely fun to play with friends. And then afterwards, they won't be your friends anymore. And then Mario Galaxy, what can you say about it? Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. I kind of prefer Mario Galaxy 1 over Mario Galaxy 2, mostly because, well, I don't know. It just felt like Mario Galaxy 2 is a lot of the same, just with a little extra elements added to it that people wanted that wasn't in Mario Galaxy. So I think what I would do is someone actually like, oh, well, I want to buy Mario Galaxy, or Mario Galaxy 2, but I don't have the money for it. Which one should I buy? Definitely go with the first Mario Galaxy. Work your way to Mario Galaxy 2. I enjoyed the first Mario Galaxy more, I suppose. Beat them both. They're both probably the best looking games on the Wii, that's for sure. New Super Mario Bros. Wii is just for those old school gamers out there, pretty much. Anyone who grew up on the NES ones and want to relive a lot of those heavily influenced by Super Mario World and Super Mario Bros. 3, then that's New Super Mario Bros. Wii, just with multiplayer for the most part. Excellent game. You know, not the best Mario game in the world by far, but definitely a fun little game. So, yeah, there you go. There you have it, folks. There's my video games. Now, I failed to mention that I also have a ton of WiiWare titles and Virtual Console titles on my Wii. I don't know. I would have to do an entirely separate video on that, but I have a ton of those. I'm not going to go over those now, but that's just a small example. Obviously, there are huge gaps in my library. There's a lot of you who be like, well, where's the Metroids, and where's Donkey Kong, and so on and so forth. Again, none made of money. There's a lot of these games I really wanted, and I'm sure they're great games, but, you know, you can't have them all. So these are the games I do own, and I enjoyed it, and that's just it. There are a lot of excellent titles on the Wii, and that's why I feel it was a great tragedy that Nintendo just dropped the Wii like a rock as soon as all of a sudden it wasn't making them money anymore. So, you know what? Before the Wii U comes out, dust off your old Wii, grab your favorite game, and just play it. Or even just go to the store and just buy a game that you always wanted to play on the Wii and didn't. Just go do it. They're probably cheap by now. You could probably find them cheap somewhere, maybe in a bargain bin, who knows. But just give the Wii some respect, because it didn't get any from Nintendo. Whether or not I'm going to jump on the Wii U bandwagon, we will see what happens, and see if Nintendo treats the Wii U like it did the Wii. We might have some issues, but other than that, again, thank you guys for watching. I know this was probably a long video, but hey, you know what? I think it's worth it, because people need to give some respect for that system, because it put Nintendo back on the map. Not that it wasn't off it, but, you know. And it's brought a lot of joy in my family's life, because I've had a lot of friends just come over, play games, enjoy some game nights with the Wii, playing some Super Smash Brothers, playing some Shaun White snowboarding, playing some Mario Brothers Wii, some GoldenEye, some Conduit, all that good stuff. There's just so many awesome games that just don't get the respect they deserve, because, ooh, it's on Wii, it's not a hardcore system. So, thank you, Wii. I appreciate you, and I am sad that you are retiring soon. And thanks for all the wonderful memories, and thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this little tribute to my Nintendo Wii collection. I hope it inspired you guys to have some fun this weekend with some of your favorite games. Until next time, game fans, keep playing, and thanks for watching.